Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Hi, Trina. We're just going to get a warm up and we're going to get Kelly on. All right. It should be. Oh, actually, I need a co-host. Oh, no. We got it today! Yes! We did it! This is exciting.
Yes. We need to be back in Mexico.
Yeah, we do. I can hear you. Can you hear me? You?
I can hear you.
Okay. I am not going to hear you. We are doing a live event. Stephanie, I'm going to private sessions at the or we'll go live when I go live. Okay.
Okay, I can hear you. I could hear you on a reverb.
Yeah, I have reverb. That's okay. I'm just going to get my app up.
I wonder if I have to get earphones.
You might.
Okay, hold on.
You might.
Oh, the tech.
We're doing it. So welcome. It's going to be fun. We're going to be fun. Let's just stick with it. I'm going to Kelly. We'll be right back. For those who don't know this, her page is she is her functional capacity. And for the second month. We did a live a few months ago on and it was incredible. Can you guys hear the reverb? I'm going to see it. Okay. I don't know. Anyone know? Do you know how to fix it? We'll work on it. Kelly, do you know if your phone is near your mic? So Kelly is a functioning practitioner, okay? So she's like a holistic doctor, we'll call her. And she's worked with many people. She's worked with celebrities. She knows her stuff. And we were lucky enough to get her on a live a couple months ago. And I posted that on my YouTube page. Now we have her back on a second live. And a lot of what Kelly and I talk about are things that I am seeing visually that are going to hit the collective. She's seeing visually that's going to hit the collective, and she's actually seeing it physically through her patients. Okay. So a lot of this stuff is things that I have seen the vision of, and then she's actually treating. So it gives me confirmation of the downloads that I'm receiving. So there's a lot of great information. I'm going to repost this again on YouTube. So you guys can always watch the recap. So hopefully, oh my goodness, it's no reverb. You figured it out.
Okay, but Am I clear?
You're clear. Very clear. Perfect. All right. Can you guys hear us okay? Awesome. Awesome. I just did an introduction. So this is Kelly. If you guys don't follow her already, I mean, even if they follow you, you have some stuff on your page. But Kelly is work with Kelly one-on-one. So if anyone wants more information, message Kelly directly or jump onto her website and get that information from her. She does well with one-on-ones, if I can speak for you. Kelly can go off and put content out there, but realistically, what Kelly speaks about will probably be flagged by TikTok anyway, so there's no point of Kelly wasting her time. Because if my videos get flagged, there's no way that your videos are going to get flagged. So, Kelly, if you're going to work with Kelly, it's because you want to show up and work with Kelly. You are going to work. If you want to focus on your health, but Kelly is black and white. There is no, not even sugarcoating, but very similar to how I work. Just don't waste our time because we stand on business. When it comes, but Kelly works very fast and she knows her stuff. So it's an honor for her to even carve out the time to be able to speak to us. So, and I get to call her a friend. So this is very exciting for us. So we'll go through everything and then we'll open the floor at the tail end for any questions. So if you guys just write down the questions and hang on to them, we'll get to the questions at the end, but we want to plow through this information before I get flagged because again, I'm talking about some risky topics and TikTok already hasn't really been too fond of me. So it is 7:31. I'm going to say I think we're good to go ahead and start. So this is what we have a lot, okay? And we have a lot of different things going on. So Kelly, when you were gone, I was letting them know that you have been my confirmation of the information that I was seeing based off of the information you were visually seeing with your patients. So I was getting more of the download and then you were getting more of the, no, I have proof to this based off of, and if you can kind of briefly describe like what you do, what a quick way of, as if I was a new patient, like what exactly you do with your patients so people kind of get what functioning medicine is.
So I work in functional DNA. So I look at your DNA, I look at your labs, I really look at the foundation of who somebody is and what's going on because I look at everything in a very narrow range than what most doctors do or even the lab results. So in that, I can tell where energy is leaking from your body or where an organ is struggling or a body system. And so I go in and we work on that. We get that strengthened so then everything we do from them is built on a very strong foundation. And that makes all the difference in the world.
Very much so. I mean, Kelly's giving me tips and tricks that have worked immediately actually. So she knows her stuff, but Kelly and I are working hand in hand because, and this is a topic that we're going to be talking about, is the spiritual body and how this is so important with your health right now is the spiritual body and the spiritual component and spiritual hygiene. So we're seeing the dance in between, and it is, I think, crucial at this point collectively to make sure your spiritual hygiene is on point, because that's what I was saying on my live before this. You guys want to go off and keep chasing all these toxic romantic partners. You're only creating inflammation in your body. You're already having collective chaos is causing inflammation in the body. What was injected or given between the B word and the C word, right? That already caused
on both ends cause inflammation in the body. So it is so vital for your healing, not just spiritually, but physically, to be very mindful of energy, because Kelly sees it on paper. And everyone says stress will kill you fast and first. Yeah, it will. But more now, we have more against us. So we just need people to kind of be eyes wide open, because a lot of, how do I say this? You have to be accountable. You have to be accountable right now more than ever. It's not about just like, a weight loss program or destroying the common cold. We have more energy thrown at us. It's what we have to guard ourselves with the stuff that we can't see right now. So if we're so susceptible to so much right now. So I know I sound crazy, but what's coming through is wild. So, okay. So we're going to start with this. There's going to be a second round of this BS, okay? A second round. Even right now, there's an uptick of the C word, all right? The tests that we're doing, they're not really detecting. A lot of people are getting sick, and the tests, the swabs, aren't really detecting that you have it, right? Now, there is going to be an uptick in sickness when the kids go back to school. And this is going to make your children more vulnerable to whatever is coming through. Now, Kelly was granted by Spirit to go through something with her own children. Kelly and I strongly believe from what we're seeing, there's going to be another illness on top of the C word. There's going to be something else coming in. Okay, we believe it's going to attack children, and I foresee it happening when the kids go back to school. Okay. Now, I'm not a fearmonger and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but my downloads are coming through, and they're coming through very strong on this. When I was in Mexico with Kelly, I witnessed with my own eyes what Kelly and I are not too sure exactly what her children got, okay? But they got this weird cough that no doctors between California and Mexico and now Nebraska could figure out what is wrong. And Kelly, I'm going to have you describe what you're seeing in your children, because I think this is what's coming through.
And I'm actually going to, I don't see if you can see this.
I have it on my...
Yeah, pull it up on yours.
And you can go ahead and start talking about...
Okay. So the kids just started off with a cough. And I just want to say, too, I have friends down in Mexico, and their kids got the cough about the same time mine did, and they're still struggling with it, too. My kids are still struggling with it. And my kids, I've never really had to take them to a doctor or anything else. Like, I've been able to handle everything holistically. And there was a point I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, we need external help, because when they would cough, they would stop breathing. And this was different. And I sent her a video of it, so you guys will get to see the video.
Okay, I'm going to press play.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe in. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Babies.
And my daughter had it worse than my son. And I think it was about a couple weeks before my son really kicked up with it, and he has far exceeded where she's at. He's very stoic. He's like me, he's very stoic about stuff. So when he stops breathing, he's just kind of like, I know I'm going to start breathing again. So he just kind of sits there, but he can't breathe either. And his latest symptoms are like his tongue and his lips are bright red, blisters on him, blisters, it's not herpes. It's, it's the secondary stuff that's going around. And this has been what, like 6 weeks, 7 weeks been going on with them?
Even when
And-
people eat.
The cough is not letting up. I have spent so many sleepless nights because in the middle of the night, and it's during the day too, but it's like I'm right there. But it's like at night, because they're sleeping right there with me, and I'm just like, and I'm immediately up, and they're a lot of times they don't even remember it, but they're sitting straight up, they're not breathing. There's a couple things that we have noticed, and I have a cough. Okay, so my ex was like, "Oh, it's whooping cough." I'm like, "This is not whooping cough because I have a little nagging cough, and it's just kind of like a kind of cough, like nothing serious." And I stop breathing too. So it's like the top of the back of your throat just closes. So. And, it's not a bad cough. I'm not, like, it's not wet. It's not anything. I mean, they were diagnosed with everything from bronchitis to pneumonia to croup to they were on steroids and antibiotics, and everything just kind of came back negative with everything. And they were like, oh, maybe it's because it's they drank something cold or they ate something cold. So then, the last couple of weeks we were down in Mexico on the ocean, it's like I had to keep them inside because I was like, I don't know, I don't want a cold breeze, I don't want them touching water. Nothing.
And it's wild because that is exactly what I feel is coming through, whether it's the new strain of COVID and why is it so different, or something else, or why is it so different in Kelly getting sick as an adult into children. So it is very, 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 make sure that with your children, you are getting them. Why don't you say start them on the vitamin C now?
Really just be on preventative. And I'll give you a quick list of everything that I've had them on. My normal tools I'm working with, which is colloidal silver, absolutely. Mullein and white pine tree needles and echinacea. I've had them on. I wouldn't put children on nicotine, but if I did, I would say it didn't work with children. Usually that is a go-to for COVID because it works on those same pathways. And let's see, what else have I done?
I mean, we've done pretty much the vitamin C. I think
The vitamin C, vitamin D, yeah, all of those, high doses of all of that. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is something that's been used in measles and tuberculosis, high doses of vitamin A. Now, vitamin A, just want to tell you, is extremely toxic. You have to be very careful if you ever high dose vitamin A. However, I know my body, I know their bodies, so I did do it, didn't touch it. Usually that'll knock a cough out like that. Elderberry, yeah, didn't work, didn't touch it. Yeah, I mean, so all the normal stuff that I normally throw at stuff, hydrogen peroxide, nothing. I haven't been able to touch this.
I mean, we cupped them, we needled them, we name it. We did. We were running around to every single pharmacy in Mexico trying to get back. I mean, ivermectin, steroids, antibiotics.
Yeah, ivermectin.
And it all.
Yeah.
So be very careful because whatever is coming through, it's going to get those kids. But there's a timeline. There's an agenda. So be very, very careful. And I'm going to constantly say, I'm going to go full circle with this before I get completely shadow banned for the rest of my TikTok career. It's intentional. Okay. This is intentional. Can it be avoided? Probably not. You can't. But just be careful. Post-viral symptoms can cause muscle fatigue, the breathing reflux, and an anatomic muscle. Yeah. So just be very careful, out there. So it's coming in. It's going to come in strategically. It's going to come in planned. When I keep saying that I see the month of end of September into October going to be very crazy, it's going to be very crazy because the kids are already starting to go back to school within the next couple of weeks. So just watch out for it, okay? Get those kids on their vitamins. Make sure keep it simple. Tell them not to put their hands on their face. Tell them not to touch their fingers in their mouth. Wash their hands. Wash their hands because kids touch everything. They stick their fingers everywhere. Your kids are gross. I love them, but they'll eat candy off the floor.
Now, I just want to tell you, poor Mary Lou, we had her stuck. The kids are like hacking. I think we have PTSD from the kids coughing, like in closed spaces. We're just like, oh my god.
You're like, are she gonna? It was horrible. But would you recommend a HEPA filter?
Yeah.
I would have
always. Just for your general health anyway. Always should always have filters in your house. A lot of people have environmental issues, genetic wise. So when you are in an environment that's hitting those genetic switches, I mean, it does cause a lot of problems. So absolutely with filters.
This is huge. What I'm seeing coming through, it's huge because I feel like, again, I'm going to go full circle with this. I feel like a lot of, okay, this is spiritual warfare. Okay. I'm going to go all over the place with this. Okay. But the devil is at play right now. So a lot of you guys are distracted with devil play. Okay. So I'm over here saying like, look over here. And you guys are like, I like this distraction over here. It's less dramatic. Thank you. So I'm telling you right now, I feel like I've been trying to get people's attention to be like, that is not no. Look over here. This is going to slap the collective in the face. So be prepared. This is why I do stuff like this, just to be like, hello, we're getting to you. The second, go for it.
Sorry. Can you talk really, really, really quick on what some of the things that are, keeping people distracted currently?
Yeah, currently keeping people distracted is the propaganda, it's media, propaganda, politics. That's one of the biggest distractions right now that you could even fall victim to. And toxic love relationships. I don't know what in the hell has what happened to you guys? Let go of the toxic ex. If you're dysregulating your nervous system, it's going to show up on Kelly's labs, okay? Everyone is so focused on finding love right now, it's like an addiction. And you are so desperate to find love that you're dipping into like old bathwater. Yep, people are sitting in old bathwater. And I get it that COVID did a number to everyone and the government did nothing to treat the PTSD that we are experiencing, okay? So a lot of people went back in to old partners because, well, it's safer because I don't really want to get to know anyone else because of this, knee-jerk reaction to what COVID did of wanting to start over and start new. But it kept you guys in this loop. I'm telling you right now, I'm seeing more inflammation caused by toxic love and even toxic friendships that you just keep going back to because there's this weird hesitancy of starting over, okay? I am telling you right now, I don't know what's going on, but I can't, it's like almost like I can't keep you guys away from the toxic ex. It's like you want it. So I'm saying to you, if you want it, you go and get it. Go and get it. Go keep repeating that cycle. But you're going to start to finally feel some type, because we are vulnerable right now spiritually. So things are going to manifest from that space fast. So you want to be on your spiritual game, on your physical game, on your mental game right now. You want to be leveled up. to what's coming through. You think you have another round of it in you? The first time wasn't bad enough? So if we got another tidal wave of ish coming in, who do you want? You want tribe members. You want backup. You want people to protect you, people that care about you, people that are going to be with you. So this lower vibration devil-ish that you are chasing, you're doing that to yourself. And that comes to you to say, I need help. I surrender. I'm addicted to toxic bullshit. How do I get out of it? And it's okay. I've been there. I'm sure Kelly's been there. We've all been there. It's not that this is not, we've all been there. But I'm saying right now, we're living in crucial times right now. And I'm saying y'all need to wake up. Keep all eyes open. And I know I sound crazy. And I know because you're going to look back at this in a year and be like, I could have listened to that crazy girl on TikTok.
And the spiritual warfare that Mary Lou was talking about too, like that's real. Like that's real. I mean, it's part of what's throwing us in this flux with our relationships and everything else. And spiritual hygiene is going to be super important. And Mary Lou is teaching a class on this, so we won't really go into it, but just know that is so very vital because listen, she didn't get sick. She didn't get sick.
Guys, I've been in the hospital for 17 days in a row. Every day, I have spiritual immunity. I'm telling you right now, my guides are like, you cannot get sick right now because we need you. We need you to help people. I won't get sick. I'll keep saying it out loud. I won't get sick. I won't get sick. I won't get sick. I won't. I focus on my spiritual hygiene. I focus on my spiritual hygiene. That if you guys want to jump into that class on Thursday, my spiritual journey, I'm going to be talking about spiritual hygiene. But it's not, it goes above this stage. You know, I'm digging in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spiritual soaps that I use, baths that I use, candles that I light for myself, walking. I'm constantly in the woods cleansing my energies. I'm not playing. Your alignment right now and you keeping yourself centered and making sure that you are not being robbed of your peace. That's when people go down when they start messing with that lower vibration because it's going to get you. It's going to get you faster that way. You just will see, like, pay attention. And how about you guys are speaking on things that people are sensitive to? Yeah, which is why I know. But we're going to repost this on YouTube. But people need to start waking up because I see so many people walking around just numb right now, numb and disconnected, and then sitting there saying, like, am I going to find love? Are things going to work out for me? And I'm thinking to myself, you're not even online. You're not even online. I need to reprogram you before anything can happen. But it's also weird too because we've shifted in a very weird, selfish, entitled space collectively. But people just want things to fall out of the sky. So you're going over here chasing toxic and then wanting the miracle. Whoa, I can't help you. So you realize maybe it's me. So
This is really our time to do our work. It's to do our work spiritually, in relationships, our health. Like we have to do the work. We have to be proactive and we have to be willing to do the work. It's not easy. That old world that we did live in, we don't live in anymore. It's gone.
It's gone. And a lot of people are still attached to the old world. Mother Gaia is popping out this baby. It is here. The new earth is here. And a lot of people there's like a shift in timeline. There are two different timelines. There's people that are here and there's people that are here. There's people that are raising their vibrations, that are doing their healing, doing their clearing, going through ancestral karma. There's all this shifts. And then there's this. And then there are people stuck in the middle. It's like purgatory on earth. I feel like earth is purgatory right now.
You're in purgatory.
So it is so important to take care of yourself, to take care of yourself spiritually more so now than ever. Because now Kelly on her end of her work is seeing how it is affecting the most healthiest men and women that are healthy on paper or somehow not healthy.
Yeah. And I just want to say, men are at an all-time high with autoimmune disorders. That used to not be the case.
And that's what I mean by healthy on paper, because their vitals are fine, but then they have a crazy amount of inflammation. That is, where did that come from?
And then now, I mean, I'm seeing them in their 20s and 30s and 40s with 3, 4, 5, 6 autoimmune disorders that they woke up one day and they just shit hit the fan for them.
It's wild. Like, it's wild. So another thing we're going to be talking about now, again, like I said, if you guys are on a spiritual journey and you guys are looking for a community, I push those classes through Zoom so that I can talk more, okay? So I can talk more. What do you know inflammation? How do we know inflammation without symptoms? I don't know if you, I mean, because whenever I have inflammation in my body, I know what symptoms my body presents. Because I feel like, now do you work with, now it's a good question for you. Do you work with any clients that have inflammation that didn't have any symptoms? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's people that they don't realize that they have it. I'll run their homocysteine, their CRP, their HS CRP, the heart, because I'm more interested in the heart than I am the liver, and ESR. Those are kind of the ones that I run, and that will show you systemically what is going on. Big inflammation markers.
makes sense. So, that's huge.
Yep.
Can you repeat that like in layman's terms?
So there are certain blood tests that will detect inflammation in the body. Like either it's centralized inflammation or it's all over inflammation.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can see it in, the white blood cells, red blood, we could see it in other places, but I mean, those specific tests are not that expensive to have run. And in most states now, you can actually run your own blood work. There's like any lab test now, I think is in a lot of states. You can just go order it from there. Test yourself, keep it out of your insurance if you can, and just monitor yourself. You have to know where your body's at.
Is there any test that you would say you would recommend anyone that's curious to see what's going on in their body for them to go and test on their own, like today?
The biggest ones to test would just be your CBC, your basic CBC with diff, okay, because you want your percentages in your white blood cells. That's going to show you where your infections are. And then just your comprehensive metabolic panel. That'll tell you a lot. And then just always pull. Make sure you're looking at your blood sugar, where the blood sugar's at. Insulin, I like insulin, glucose, A1C. Because anytime you have a gut issue, you also have blood sugar issues. So go hand in hand.
And obviously, listen, I'm not against Western medicine by any means. We need the balance. But I'm saying right now, when it comes to Western medicine and your lab work, it's 0 to death, okay? They're testing you used to be 0 to cancer, which is what you taught me. Now I'm seeing that it's 0 to death. So there's a lot of gray in those results. So when you work with someone that reads between the lines and reads those gray spots, like Kelly, he's going to be able to detect a lot of the inflammation. A lot of people are going to rheumatologists, are going to doctors, and they're getting swept under the rug. Yet a lot of people are walking around feeling like ass.
Yeah.
But are being like, oh yeah, fibromyalgia, just like the rest of the world.
But doctors they really don't know how to handle it. They really don't know how to handle it. So when you're looking at that, and again, it's like the genetics. You can't just pick one gene and read it and go, like the MTHFR, and go, okay, I have this, so therefore, no. Like, it's a symphony. Your body is a symphony. It's how the orchestra is playing together. So you have to look at how everything's fitting together.
Yeah. So that's why it's really important right now to educate yourselves. Don't be so dependent. This is kind of what I'm saying. Keep all eyes open, right? A lot of people I feel like lead your body, lead it. So the second thing that I had made that video on HIV. Okay. Now there's more than just HIV. Okay. There's a rise in STDs and STIs collectively. Okay. A lot of people have their pH has been thrown off down there. due to whether it be inflammation, whether it be long COVID, whether it be vaccine, whatever it is, there's something off. Okay, there's something seriously off. You have to be careful. I even watched a video that someone got that chlamydia's been spread in like public gyms now. But there's new strains. Like I think I have
Katrina, yes.
yes. So it is very important. So there's something seriously off. Wasn't there an STI that I know that there's an uptick in syphilis as well.
Yeah.
But there's all these different strains of them that even antibiotics aren't curing. There's STIs that even antibiotics aren't really fully getting rid of. Okay. So you have to be careful. Like people's bodies are off right now. There's something really weird coming through. And Kelly, you could probably like, do we fully know why? No. But there's something here.
Well, and I can kind of take a guess on stuff. And Mindy, if you can talk about that at the end, I'll actually come back to that and talk about that a little bit. The MTHFR. So one of the things that the C did really good in 2019, 2020 for us was it really messed with our microbiome. Now we have everything that also messes with our microbiome. The Roundup that's sprayed on everything. It's the genetically modified plants. It's the cell tower. It's whatever. It's so whatever conspiracy it is. However, when you start actually looking at the data, the research data that's coming out, it does have an impact on our body. So they're coming at us from all these angles, and then we've got a virus that got inside of us that really changed our microbiome. So then when we have people just sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping with everybody, and everybody's just passing it around, and now all of a sudden our microbiome's not in place to go, hey, not gonna get it, just shut it right out. That's not happening anymore.
Yes. And it's like, and now our bodies can't protect themselves anymore because they're like they're out of sync. They're not operating like. It's very weird. It's very, 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 very weird. Now, a couple of things that we recommend, right? So, can you talk about the violet?
Yes. So, in our last one that we had, the natural medicine cabinet that we had done, we talked about boric acid suppositories. Do not eat it. It's really highly toxic. No, really, really highly toxic. Okay, so with things like bacterial vaginosis, men are the ones that carry that and just pass that from woman to woman to woman, okay? So one of the things is we can't treat men with boric acid, but there is something that I was having a conversation with my midwife from Baylor one day, and she was telling me about Ganeshan violet. And that is very big has always been really big in the Hispanic cultures. It's like this purple, it's really bright purple. And I know at the time it was like it's not like things are now where, you just ship Amazon or Etsy or whatever and get it. That wasn't the case back then. It was like Walgreens had it, right? And you could put some in a tampon, stick it up, it treated you. And then for the male, coat his eggplant, in it, and then.
I'm sorry, because it'll make the penis purple. So the fact that you said eggplant just got me. Okay, so it'll be a little stained, but that's okay. I'd rather have a stained penis than a dirty one. These are facts. Okay, we are all adults here, and we can handle the conversation.
It works really well for thrush with children. You just have to make sure it's a pure source because there's a lot of tainted sources out there. I really don't recommend going to Walgreens and picking up Ganeshan violet. You can get a pure source of it now.
So just be very careful. And I don't know if because a lot of people have been going full circle attached to their exes. I don't know what's going on in the sexual world, or people just felt like, ooh, I have freedom now. Now I'm just gonna like go live my best life because it was taken away. But once I got the HIV download, I was like, and I'm celibate. I put my chastity belts on. I was like, I'm good here. I'm good. No. So I know I'm making this light and funny, but there's nothing funny about STDs and STIs. And it's nothing funny when our antibiotics can't even treat it anymore and they don't know how to get rid of it. So there's a rise in that. So be very careful with your bodies, okay?
Yeah.
And sexually speaking, be very careful with energies that you let into your bodies. Energy matters too, going about the spiritual hygiene. Be very careful. That is going to be attaching itself to you, okay?
And women, if you are with your man and you have a flare-up of BV afterwards, there is an allergy that you're having to him. And then when we talk to Mary Lou and you're talking about the spiritual aspect of stuff, it's like, okay, what is that saying spiritually? I mean, maybe there is an incompatibility there. So just saying, it's something to pay attention to.
The body keeps the score. The body keeps the score. That is why everything that we're saying, I can go full circle with everything, whether we talk about toxic love, whether we talk about the C word, whether we talk about STD. I'm telling you, your body right now, with where we're at collectively, with how there are so many people that have helped raise the collective vibration and collective consciousness, that it is working faster. Things are presenting themselves faster, whether they be diseases, whether they be illnesses, it doesn't matter. It is here, okay? We have evolved collectively. So just think about it. We are evolving very quickly. We're competing with AI. Hello? We are competing with AI. What AI doesn't have on us is intuition, right? So that's why there's been this, I have to grow spiritually. We are competing with AI.
Yeah.
So things, of course, are going to present themselves a little faster right now. But be very careful. A lot of people are just not paying attention. Not paying attention.
Pay attention, and please just get tested. Know your body. Just know your body.
Yeah.
There's no, listen, there's always stuff you can do. Herpes, there's stuff you can do.
Yes.
So just know there are things in the alternative world that do work. You can always reach out to me. I mean, just really, nothing is a sentence anymore. But just know yourself.
Just know yourself. Now, Kelly, what was that IV treatment that helped with that?
Yeah, that's it. One of the things is there are doctors around the United States. I worked with one in Dallas. He was part of the med spa, and he would do ozone and DMSO and a couple other things. And the side effect was got rid of herpes in people. It's for cardiovascular. It's to break down all that scar tissue that they say is, clogged arteries, but
Is it though?
no.
Yes. So keep all eyes open. Keep all eyes open. The best thing you could do, and this goes again full circle when we go into spiritual alignment, spiritual awakening, our soul, spiritual hygiene. When we are in alignment with ourselves, we are connected to our spiritual body, our physical body.
Yes.
Right? So when you want to go force the distraction, because you're avoiding this, that's all the answers here. Your body can start telling you stuff. A lot of people aren't tapping in, or they're not in alignment, so they can't tap in. That's why there's this pressure for people to grow spiritually more now than ever.
Yeah.
It's wild. Now, I am going to be talking about spiritual hygiene and spiritual immunity, right? Because it is insane right now what I am seeing in my clients. How many times a day I do a reading for someone, I'm like, you have you have an autoimmune. You have an autoimmune. You have an autoimmune. You guys, I say that all day long, spiritually speaking. And Kelly is seeing it all day long now about having an autoimmune. So there's something going on. There is something going on. But all this stuff is treatable. It is treatable. That's the positive part. It is treatable. And I will say one of the biggest ways to treat autoimmune is through spiritual hygiene and spiritual development.
Tori said that she's updating. Her doctor did say her iron was low, just like you had said, and gave her a body detox to do.
Poor thing. Tori, I'm actually really happy that you put yourself first and went to that doctor because, again, this is entertainment purposes, but I do a lot of medical reads on people. It's something that Spirit has given me as far as one of my gifts. But I have never seen this many sick people. I've never read for this many sick people. Truly. And Kelly is the same. Which is why her and I have been, brought into each other's path, I think, so strongly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have to be very, very mindful of where our energy is. We want to keep it clean. We want to keep it simple. We want to keep it wholesome.
Sacred. Protect your life. Protect your life. Protect your body. Because it goes much deeper than what I think meets the eye. And I think what we're seeing, what is going on, you can't see. Fully. You cannot. Now, I am going to open the floor to questions for Kelly and for myself or for myself. But even on spiritual hygiene, okay, he said my face looks awful and fits my way. Oh, that's so sad, sorry. So with spiritual hygiene, and you still need to, it doesn't need to be elaborate. I don't need you guys to sit there and set the tone in your house and you can meditate for an hour. It doesn't have to be that. Spiritual hygiene is when we have that time to connect to ourselves and connect to our guides. And how you go about getting to that, right? Is it through your shower? Is it through your bath? Is it through a long car ride? Is it through a walk through the woods? It's the ability to ground your energies. That is spiritual hygiene itself, okay? And paying attention to how your body responds to certain people, certain situations. If your body is starting to dysregulate itself around a person, you might have to take a couple steps back from that person. Because that dysregulated nervous system is what is causing the inflammation more now than ever. And we've become very sensitive to energy, okay? It is living in a high vibrational lifestyle and maintaining a high vibration. Now, can we avoid certain people all the time? No, not really. But what does spiritual hygiene do? It says, I'm going to be put, for example, the last couple of weeks, I've been in a high stress situation, right? Around people that don't like me right now. They don't like me. I'm getting nothing but daggers thrown at me energetically, but the way I have to balance that out is through spiritual hygiene. Notice I'm not sick. I haven't had a flare up. I'm okay. And what people have to remember is that life still goes on. You're going to be in toxic situations still. You can't avoid life. You can't avoid living, but what we do is we fine tune our spiritual hygiene. So we're like, okay, I was around a lot of people with a lot of low vibration. I know that when I get home tonight, I'm gonna have to bust up my Florida water. I might have to do a spiritual bath. I have grounding mats upstairs. I might have to take a walk as soon as I get home. I might have to walk around barefoot. I might have to go to the woods. I might have to hug a tree. I'm gonna do all those. Sometimes I might have to do an egg cleanse if it's that bad. This week I did 6. It was that bad. But that's my responsibility. I still have to live life. You still have to live life. You're still going to be presented to devils everywhere. Lower vibration is everywhere. You can't avoid it. But what you can do is be in tune with your body and know, that didn't feel right.
I don't feel good after spending time there. I got to go home and recalibrate.
And just know too, if you're dealing with something and the egg cleanse, the normal stuff is not working, go to Mary Lou. I mean, those are not grounding. That is not the only tools in her tool belt.
No.
She's got some powerful stuff that she can help you through.
Yeah. Yeah.
She whipped out some stuff on me that was
right. Absolutely. I mean, get a reading if you need one. If you can't identify it yourself, like in my readings and in my sessions, I will give you like a prescription pad essentially of the things that I see that will work specifically for you. It's not, I am married to it. That's me, Katrina, miscellaneous magic community. But I'm on both. I am on Insta, and I second them. No, we're gonna get you right. I am, and I work fast. It doesn't take me long, but I will. No, Katrina, that's totally okay because I work under miscellaneous magic, but my real name is Mary Lou. I will not. I'm not here to like take your money. I'm here to get you better. Like I don't want to. Just to let you guys know, like I want you guys to get better, get healthy, and leave the nest. Right? That's the goal, is for you guys to flourish and you guys to grow and you guys to do what you need to do. Like, I'm not trying to build a codependent relationship where you need to run everything past me. No. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is give you a custom blend. And with Kelly, like if I find that someone's actually really sick, I'm going to throw them at Kelly's way because I may be able to identify what's going on. I might not be able to fully treat it outside of the spiritual realm. That's where Kelly fits in to this because Kelly does the science part of it and the spiritual part of it as well, but in a different way. Okay. So it is very vital for you guys to be taking care of yourself right now. If you are on a spiritual journey, if you are going through a spiritual awakening, it is mind, body, spirit is so important in this time. But find a guide. Find someone that will walk you through it. You know, a lot of us are trying to navigate it alone, and I understand that. And there's a lot of good information out on the internet, and there's a lot of bad information out on the internet. Okay, so be very mindful. If you are working with someone that's not Kelly or I, and you can kind of feel a little pressure by that person, and you don't feel like this connection, or you feel nervous, or you feel like this need to be like overly submissive around them and be that good student, you're probably not with the right fit, okay? You're not with the right fit. So be very careful because, Kelly, there was someone that you were showing, what was it? I don't remember what that person's name is, but there's a lot of people that are out there still doing pyramid themed marketing and follow this program. Those templates, let me tell you something. I'm not going to have one single template. And Kelly doesn't have one single template that's going to work for everyone. I'm going to do a custom blend based off of you and your energy and what your spirit guides are telling me and what your ancestors are telling me. And I'm going to give it to you from what I'm seeing based off of who you are, through your portal. Kelly's doing the same thing based off of your labs and what you're showing her on paper. A lot of people will take a template and try to say, here. Much like Western medicine, I find that even in the spiritual world, it's kind of become that way.
It's
like
a spiritual world.
Template.
It's the spiritual world, and it's the natural world, and it's the supplement world, it's the biohacking world. Look, everybody should go do, ice baths, but cryo is not good for everybody.
Right.
Everybody should take, echinacea or vitamin A or vitamin D or zinc. Zinc for some people genetically is toxic. You can take it, it might help with the cold, but guess what? You now have a problem down the road because you took high levels of zinc. So there is not one size fits all at all in any realm, even if it's natural.
So if you are
know your body,
consult with someone that works for the masses, okay? And I mean spiritually too. Remember this. We have been watching so many people go through a spiritual awakening and ascend. Ascension is individuating. Okay? That's you becoming your authentic self. You're individuating. You're becoming who you're supposed to be. Why would I put you in a group? That's cult-like. That's cult-like. Why would I say, okay, after my program, you're going to be just like this shiny? No, you're going to be who you're supposed to be. And it's all going to look different. Just like when you spiritually ascend, you are going to come and become the person you're supposed to be. What I'm supposed to be and what you're supposed to be are going to be two different things. Your health is the same way. So it needs to be approached the same way. So be very careful, because I keep saying there's going to be a fall. There's going to be a fall of the false prophets. And a lot of people are going to see how many people out there have Ponzi schemed them, and how much money people have spent on poor vitamins, cheap healthcare, bad readings. I mean, you name it. It's going to be bad, 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 bad. They don't want you to empower yourself. They don't want you to educate yourself. They want to keep you back in that loop. So again, like I said, be very, very, very careful with who you give your energy to, because a lot of people are still distracted even by that kind of lower vibration.
And really, the more that you get to know about yourself, you take that with you forever. Nobody can take that away from you. And you know what? It doesn't mean that you have to live in this very narrow band of, I have to be this way, I can't go outside that. But you know the tools. When you get too far outside and you're out of balance, you know the tools to then bring you back. That's lifelong for you.
And that's what Kelly and I both like to work on with our clients, is that life is still going to happen, but we still have to navigate it when it does, or you have to learn how to identify. Like I can tell within my body when I'm about to get a flare up. I can tell. And usually it's because I poured from an empty cup for 2 days in a row. And then it's like spirit goes, well, guess what? We're going to make sure you don't move so you can't pour. Because I didn't listen. But your body will tell you, your spirit will tell you. And this is what it's so important. It goes hand in hand. There is a dance between what Kelly does and between what I do. But be very careful. Be very careful. Because I also feel like, Kelly, I'm going to ask you this. Because so many people started taking so many vitamins, and so many people are, okay, on the world of TikTok, right? This has become, TikTok, people sell stuff left and right on TikTok. That's what TikTok has become. There are so many people selling vitamins just because they want to monetize and they want to make money off of, to be a brand ambassador.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to buy this. I keep seeing this vitamin, or keep seeing this on TikTok. That means that it must be good, right? It must be good for me because so many people are promoting it. That, first of all, most of those people are just trying to make a buck. I mean, that's the reality. You know, not everyone's going to be sitting here telling you who should take it and who should not. That's up to you, right? But it's like I'm watching so many people become like brainwashed, like, oh, wow. I even did it the other day. When I was in Mexico, Kelly looked at my stuff that I brought, and she's like, she looked at the collagen. She's like, this right here, in this, whatever was in that collagen, she's like, this is not good for you. And I was like, but it was viral on TikTok. And I bought it.
So, and with the supplements, you have to be really careful because, first of all, most of the supplements, even the smaller, are owned by a couple big players, or really one at the very top. That's it, okay? So they don't have your health in mind. Most of all of the raw materials comes from either India or China. Nothing wrong with that, but they just have different regulations over there. And maybe if they say it's certified organic or whatever, they've batch tested the big barrel of herbs to begin with, but then they haven't batched it after it's been through the processing. So just there's not a lot of supplement companies that are actually really good, and it's expensive to batch test constantly, but the good supplement companies batch test constantly. And you want a real big awakening, start looking at coroner reports and how many deaths are actually tied to toxic supplements. There is always a toll on the body. Always.
And because a lot of us have become healthier collectively, there has been a trend in working out. And if you look, everyone's in their bodies. Again, when it's that trendy, be very careful with what, if there's a hidden agenda behind it.
Yeah. Just your body is sacred. Treat it like that. You don't need a bunch of supplements anyway. You really, 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 truly don't. I promise you, you don't. Get the foundation of your body corrected, and everything will start working on its own. You don't need a bunch of supplements.
You really don't. You really, really don't. So I'm going to open the floor to questions for Kelly and I. Questions, thoughts on... Kelly, do you know how to read that? Listen. Hi, Ray.
I don't know.
What is urolithin? I actually don't know if I've heard of that. Urolithin.
Urolithin A. Let me Google. Hi, Ray.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
That's a supplement.
Yep.
Okay. It's with niacinamide. I mean, I'm just going to say, look at your blood work, get your genetics done. If you haven't had them done, get them done. Know what your body needs. And it's not like your genes are, that's it. It's like they're set in stone or anything else, because most of the genes that we have are never going to express anyway. But when we use your symptoms with lab work, we can tell what is expressing. And a lot of times, if you're reacting to things due to environment, due to stress, due to you're in a toxic relationship and you're just reacting to everything, even things that would normally be okay for you, you're going to react to in a certain way. So I'm just like, I'm not a fan of just mass supplementing because studies said that it should be good. Just go in and really know what you specifically need. And a lot of times there's still ways around it other than supplementing.
Kelly made a big point. If you're still keeping up with your toxic patterns and trying to get healthy, you might as well stop trying to get healthy. Go fix the toxic patterns and go focus on healing, because that body, if you're hanging on to a toxic boyfriend or girlfriend and you're over here taking all these supplements and working out, I'm telling you right now, those supplements probably aren't even absorbing in your body because the amount of inflammation that is caused by your stress. So we could sit here and take every pill that we can to then try to make things better. But if you're not taking care of the root of the cause of all your symptoms, don't even waste your money on supplements. Like, don't. Because if this is what's causing your stress, that you got to take care of that first. You can't heal in fight or flight.
There was a study done that said 86% of adult Americans have some sort of gut issue, some sort of leaky gut issue. And so you're dumping supplements into that with a leaky gut issue. Your body is going to be reacting everywhere. I am a fan of castor oil. I like to put it in my eyes. It's amazing for dry eyes. It helps cataracts. It's a lot of stuff. It helps you go to sleep. I haven't tried it in the belly button, but I am a huge fan of castor oil. Just make sure it's hexane free, cold press.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Is there any brand that you like?
There are some brands that I like. I like Pure Encapsulations. Douglas Labs tends to be very pure. If you have other questions about specific things, feel free to reach out to me. Private message me.
Perfect.
Yeah, castor oil helps with vision. A lot of times, as our vision is going, especially looking at screens all the time, It's that blue light that goes in and really gives us dry eye. It's amazing how many of us are walking around with dry eye and we don't know it, and it flattens out the eyeball. The eyeball should be nice and round, but when it gets dry, it tends to flatten out and changes our vision. Keep your eyeballs nice and moist. Castor oil, one of my favorites for that.
Eyelash growth, castor oil helps with that as well.
Yeah.
And
Again, make sure it's pure.
yes, absolutely. Okay. And let me know if you guys are putting your questions in and I'm not getting through.